Today, we are going to talk about paintings by Adolf Hitler, the infamous dictator of Nazi Germany, who also fancied himself as an artist. You may think that his paintings were as bad as his politics, but you might be surprised to learn that he actually had some talent and ambition in the field of art. However, his artistic career was not very successful, and his paintings reveal a lot about his personality and ideology. Hitler's interest in art began in his youth. Okay, not that young. There. When he wanted to become a professional artist and applied to the Academy of Fine Arts, Vienna. However, he was rejected twice in 1907 and 1908 because his drawing skills were deemed. The Academy also suggested that he had more potential in architecture than in painting, but Hitler was too stubborn to listen. He decided to pursue his artistic dream on his own and moved to Vienna, where he lived in poverty and tried to sell his paintings and postcards to tourists. Hitler's paintings were mostly landscapes, cityscapes, and buildings, which he copied from photographs or other artists. He rarely painted people, animals, or nature, and his style was very conventional and conservative. He admired the classical and romantic artists of the 19th century, such as Rudolf von Alt, and rejected the modern and avant-garde movements of his time, such as Expressionism and Cubism. He also had a preference for dark and gloomy colors, which reflected his mood and outlook. Hitler's paintings were not very original or impressive, but they were not terrible either. He had a decent sense of perspective, composition, and detail, and some of his works even showed a hint of creativity and flair. For example, his painting of Mother Mary with the Holy Child Jesus Christ, which he made in 1913, was a rare attempt at a religious subject, and it had a soft and warm tone that contrasted with his usual cold and harsh. However, Hitler's paintings were not very popular or profitable, and he struggled to make a living as an artist. He also faced a lot of competition and criticism from other artists, especially the Jews, whom he blamed for his failures. He developed a deep hatred and resentment towards the Jews, and also towards the modern art that he considered degenerate and corrupt. He became obsessed with the idea of a pure and superior German art, which would reflect his nationalist and race. Hitler's artistic ambition was soon overshadowed by his political ambition, as he joined the Nazi Party and rose to power in Germany. He used his artistic skills to design the Nazi symbols, such as the swastika and the eagle, and to stage spectacular rallies and ceremonies that appealed to the masses. He also used his artistic authority to censor and persecute the artists and artworks that he disliked, and to promote and collect the ones that he approved. He amassed a huge collection of paintings, mostly stolen from museums and private owners, and planned to build a grand museum in his hometown of Linz, where he would display his favorites. Hitler's paintings were a part of his history, but they were not a part of his legacy. His paintings were forgotten and ignored by the world, and most of them were destroyed or lost during the war. Only a few of them survived, and they are now kept in museums or private collections, where they are rarely displayed or sold. They are not valued for their artistic merit, but for their historical curiosity and controversy. They are not admired but despised and ridiculed. They are not the works of an artist, but the works of a monster. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more Untold History. See you next time.